Dire's ban now.
Radiant's turn to ban.
The Dire get a ban.
An all expenses paid trip for 2 to ESL 1 Kuala Lumpur. That does sound like a great trip. You get to meet Slacks. Potentially you're a bad guy, apparently. That's what...
Thank God it's
Don't
not
use
me.
that kind of language.
Yeah, it definitely is not going to be purged for the 100th time.
It's been a couple. My evil
I
laugh
stared
is
evilly
being
at the purge.
delivered.
Yes. That means, by the way, that you should go to esl.gg/DHL. That's where you can sign up and have a chance to win the trip. The all expenses paid trip for 2. Did I mention you don't have to do anything? All you have to do is probably roll up to an airport near you and everything is taken care of. That sounds like the dream. So make sure you do that. esl.gg/DHL. You got this. And let's see who got this game number 3, because we are in the middle of our grand finals here, Dream League Season 21, and so far, Team Spirit got this, Purge.
That's what it kind of seems like. I mean, the ones that went through the winner brackets, so they had a lot of steam. But honestly, Shopify's been playing really solid considering Game 2 is a little bit more disappointing. But their morale's got to be a bit lower. They're down 0-2. They broke Lacoste's prediction. You got
Really mad about this one.
You got a new prediction?
New prediction. Jenkins has a joke, by the way.
I do.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can I get the camera?
Can we get the camera on Jenkins, please?
I think we're going to see Artreezy
Seconds.
on Muerta this game.
Boy,
If they give it to them,
5
because
seconds
Shopify do have
remaining.
first pick, but is Muerta first feasible? I don't know. The Enchantress is still in the pool. Shopify banned out the PA themselves with having first pick, which means that this is not their priority hero in this phase.
Dire's
And I just
turn
feel,
to
yeah, it is the
ban.
Enchantress. I just feel like this hero was the hero that controlled the pace of both games in the early game. In that first game for Shopify, it was tempo, 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 especially paired with Saberlight's Beastmaster. And in that game too, Miposhka was an absolute menace on it throughout the entire game in terms of damage dealing, but also shutting down Abed. So taking this Enchantress, I think, is the correct,
5 seconds remaining.
the only correct approach right now for Shopify.
Are we gonna run it back? They definitely need some like magical damage. We've seen Enchantress in Game 1 and Game 2 causing a lot of issues, just being super tanky, annoying in your face, dealing with the towers early on. And there's the urge for it to run it back from the Game 1. Bit of a different order, but
This time around, there will be no Abed Invoker, as we saw in Game 1, though. Also have the majority of the carries banned out that we worried about, other than the Gyrocopter, which I mean, I'm very curious to see what the teams are going to do with that. Maybe it's still a great pick if you can pick it later on, where you know what you're up against.
Yeah, you could potentially do it. Spirit might just take the Ancient Apparition again with their Earth Spirit because it worked out so well in terms of heal reduction versus heroes like Enchantress, and that would be their solution for the Gyrocopter also. In terms of taking it for themselves, Spirit generally just don't want to play the hero. I feel that they will always go the Terrorblade route if they're given a choice between Gyro or TV.
I am curious. We have the most picked hero ignored so far this series. Most picked hero in Dream League, which also a very high success rate in the Vengeful Spirit. But Perch, we've rarely seen we've not seen her this series at all.
yeah, that's a little surprising to me. Typically, Shopify Rebellion picks her as their second support, but I think they've just had other priorities this game. I also think Dark Willow's moved up a little bit in the last like 3 or 4 series into a first or instant second phase ban. So I think that one's just kind of overshadowing what the Venge wants to do a little bit. That's all.
I think that the Willow is moving up in ban priority, not because she's stronger than Vengeful Spirit, but because if you leave the Willow through, you have to worry about the Willow Beastmaster lane, which we've seen being run for the last couple of days, and it looks unbeatable. That lane has not lost yet. So if you take out Willow from the equation, you're denying a good support while also not being as threatened by the Beastmaster, because a lot of teams will want to take it for themselves or just solve it through their laning phase. Like we saw with the...
And Willow just combos so effectively with so many good heroes, so many melee divers. So it's kind of like a 1-2 punch. It's safer to ban it.
Dire's ban now.
Makes sense. We got the Centaur and the Terrorblade removed on the side of Shopify Rebellion. Team Spirit will now get to ban 1 hero, after which they'll be allowed to pick. What are you guys giggling about, Lacoste?
there's a fly on Jenkins's foot. And maybe EG Fly or Shopify Rebellion Fly, he already gave up. We don't have the angle, but it is right there. Let me just show it. This is the fly. There it is. It's on my hand right now.
Wow.
There it is. Shopify Rebellion Fly attacking me.
He's just looking at the fly.
I also need to shower, probably. Look, it's not moving. What is this?
Slap it.
No, I don't want to.
Ben can skip.
I don't want them to play 4 versus 5.
This entire panel, he's been trying to set up that joke.
I was wondering, like, what you guys
Yeah, we were silent. We were trying to aim where the fly is.
It was like the first time with a 5-man panel that nobody has anything to say
I was
during the
getting
draft.
so still. I was on my foot. I was trying to get his attention.
They're the best friends now.
We got fly
It's
stands
on your
now,
chest.
so sorry, Effie. Go, please
Fly
take
back.
us into the draft.
Bat chest.
I'm just I'm curious for Scared because they have 2 different takes they could go now. They could potentially set up for a gyro again because their TB is taken out, so they have to address it. Their solution has been Shadow Demons, so that was one of the approaches. The other would have been obviously the Ancient apparition from Poshka, but they prioritized the Mira SD instead, and I can understand why, right? The utility of a shard is so good when you have a hero like Earth Spirit, and the ulti is always going to be
10 seconds.
It's always going to be good, regardless of whatever carry comes out of Shopify. I mean, Purge is pretty broken. Not the Purge next to me.
Yeah,
but
it's
the Purge
anti-carry.
Oh.
You can like
You're pretty
kick,
broken too. You're smart.
you can kick him out. You can use Shadow Demon's Purge on top of him,
I don't
which
wanna kick
makes
him out. He's doing a great job
not able to
analyzing.
move. Yeah, just keep doing that. Tanks are having too much fun.
My bad. I like the Storm. We've seen this do very well against Earth Spirit and Earth Shaker in the mid lane.
Yeah.
It's one of the answers to the melee heroes that people are picking in this patch. And then it's very good against the SD as well. It's a hero that can... honestly, the best backline jumper in Dota, period. Like, anytime Storm is not viable, the heroes like SD and Oracle instantly become broken. So I like that they pick it here. They've played it before, and then they picked the Coddle with it as well, which I see a lot of people spamming in pubs, by the way. It seems to be one of the broken form positions.
I thought coming into this tournament, this show is going to be much more popular because of the so many broken combos that you have with Chakra Magic. But seems like that's not the case. You know, Bet Boom, they tried to run it a couple of times, looked really good in their hands. What I want to see from Shopify Rebellion is pick some offlaner that has the stun. Because right now you're relying on a Storm Spirit. All these heroes are really squishy. If you get a jump with Earth Spirit +1, these heroes are going to die.
Yeah.
But speaking of stun, Spirit needs some lockdown of their own now that the Storm is here. They need some kind of Lion. I mean, Mira hasn't played that in a while because so many other heroes have come to popularity, but I think Lion could address some of their Storm problems.
It's a good hero.
Or
there it
Silence
is.
from Skywrath Mage.
Yeah.
You could also go the double Silence route with... Okay, they didn't. Dawnbreaker.
That's a very, very strong lane between these two heroes. Like, that's like the strongest level 2 power spike lane you could imagine.
But don't you think their counter, like Storm just buys with BKB, and then both of these heroes are, they don't really do much. I mean, they'll counter initiate his own.
Yeah, you're banking on pretty much killing the Storm pre BKB.
I feel like these drafts are an evolution of the previous game, which was basically like they couldn't buy defensive items to protect their carry because the Shadow Demon ulti was so annoying to deal with. It just would have instantly dispelled the force of the Glimmer or whatever. So now they're just like, we're just gonna murder the backline with the Storm Night Stalker. That's all they care about. Kill the backline supports, then deal with the rest of the fight. The lanes are still scary, and Team Spirit still has really good heroes, but at least it gives Shopify better ways to enter the fight that they struggled with against Team Spirit in the previous games.
It's a good Night Stalker game to start with. You have Chakra Magic, plus you also have your ulti, so it refreshes your cooldown, so you might get hit by triple Silence, which is going to be super annoying for both Skywrath Mage, Shadow Demon, even Earth Spirit. Like, he gets to roll, you get on top of him. Like, they're going to need to be able to protect each other really well.
Yeah, this is an excellent NS game. Earlier when I was saying they could go the double Silence route, I meant they could take the Night Stalker for themselves because it's a good hero versus Enchantress as well because of the shard, and then instead of playing 4 stuns, you could just run at the Storm early on with your silences.
Saberdark, he had a really good performance against Bet Boom in the last series that they played.
Yeah, but that means that they prioritize the Dawn over the Night Stalker. They think that the kill threat that comes out of Dawn on lane gives them more value.
It also
I
gives them
wonder if
more
that's the
save.
case.
Like, they have a lot of sustain on Spirit because of Dawn ulti, so they can protect their supports with that ulti, and also Shadow Demon. So it's going to be really hard. I don't see any team fight coming out from Shopify Rebellion. This is pretty single target oriented until later on Storm Spirit gets the Aghanim Scepter.
But don't you feel like, sure, it gives them save, but it also gives Shopify a way to play the game, because usually Dawn drafts are played in a way where she's farming on a side lane or somewhere in the jungle, and then Shopify can just set up a smoke, go on her first, and it just simplifies their ability to play the map this game, the Storm pick on Spirit's side, because it doesn't give them the team fight that they needed. It's just a counter initiate, and Shopify are already playing for pickoffs with their Storm Spirit pick. So I just don't like it very much, the Dawnbreaker, if I'm being honest.
Why?
Even though it's a good hero.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering why Lifestealer here? Is this like Spectre coming out from Team Spirit?
5 seconds remaining.
Who predicted the life stealer? Oh, it was Effie.
You did?
Effie,
Oh,
but
Effie,
she predicted
the
it.
last
She
one.
predicted
1 point.
it.
Here we go.
It didn't come out though. It got
No, for
banned.
that
That's
rest.
close.
It got banned.
As the co-host, I'll give you a quarter point for that.
Thank you, co-host.
Yeah, no problem.
You don't get. I don't get that power, so you don't get that power.
I think I make the rules as the co-host.
Okay. I guess.
I will say, the trend that we've seen from Shopify Rebellion, where they have such a, in the games that they do well, they have such a great early game, loads of movements and stuff, and I know Fly as Enchantress will have those movements. I just don't see it as much from the Keeper of the Light. I feel like when I see Crit being absolute dominant in a game, it's not really Coddle.
I mean, Coddle really enables Storm, so I think that enough is worth it because Abed can be the playmaker and Crit can just run around with him. Faceless Void potentially could make it so that the Coddle plus Enchantress are stronger supports, right? Because they'll be able to 2 damage and it'll be able to jump out of danger when the Dawnbreaker and Sky play aggressively.
All right, onwards to our final picks then. Yatoro and Arteezy. Endless battle.
5 seconds remaining.
Gyrocopter ignored. Nobody cares at this point.
Turn to pick.
It will be an Alchemist for Arteezy.
Okay. His 5th most picked to the tournament.
I could see. I do worry about Ursa against like the Night Stalker Silence, but it's very good again. Or Slark. Like both of these heroes do very well against Night Stalker and Lynx. I was looking for some like melee owner. Night Stalker is super punishable by these illusions and these melee owning heroes, and I think they're also
5
very good
seconds
against
remaining.
What
the
about
Alch.
Seeker? Is that a possibility against Night Stalker?
Yeah, it kind of ruins him, but I was maybe thinking Troll, you know, just to
Choose your
match
hero.
have something to go late against this Alchemist. It's gonna be the combo. They have a decent amount of damage that they can throw inside a Chronosphere.
Yeah, they're playing for the team fights.
Pretty much, they want to have superior team fight. I do like what Shopify Rebellion went with this game because they needed to change things up a little bit. It was not working out in the second game. So get this Alchemist, try to play slightly more aggressive, like hit your earlier timings, but still gonna be tough not to crack. I think Saberlight, he needs to pop off, and so is Abed. Not the easiest game for Storm because they don't have the save for the Chronosphere. You get caught inside, you're gonna die.
Yeah, I think Shopify look like a different team when they have their Enchantress. They suddenly become this incredibly oppressive laning team, taking all of these towers. So I think that enough is going to make this game look very different for them. But I just worry about this Alchemist's ability to play into the Void later on in the game. I mean, if there's one player that I won't doubt on Faceless Void ever, it's Yatoro. I've seen him win games that he shouldn't win. And on paper, it does feel like Spirit's draft is slightly weaker than Shopify's. But like I said, I've seen this guy 1v5 on Faceless Void in games where he had a 5% win probability, so who knows?
That's a little worrying, but I feel like Shopify is going to be able to pick off those supports in the back line, and even though Yatoro's amazing at the role, like he might have to 1v5 in some of these fights.
Well, we're gonna find out what's gonna happen. Team Spirit, they won the most recent tournament they attended. Will they do so 2 times in a row in the best of 5 grand finals, or will Shopify Rebellion extend this series? We're finding out together with ODPixel and Fog.
Glorious. Prepare to make way.
Who made you captain?
It's pronounced Admiral.
It's feeding time.
Told you a storm was coming! Huzzah!
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Time for game 3. We're getting some action straight away.
Right away.
On this is the disruption setup there on Saberlight. This is going to be first blood for sure. Saberlight goes down. Yatoro, first blood for him in the mid lane.
When would you expect this? They're just high-fiving. They're just having Yatoro's hitting him, having a good time. Disruption. Boom.
Raiden. They were ready to go with the 5 of them there in the mid. Team Spirit. First blood for Yatoro.
And Abed gives him a nice little have fun after Saberlight does die. Really.
All right. So, game 3. 2 games so far. Spirit, they've been able to take the 2 of them. Fogged. Are we going to see Shopify Rebellion able to turn things around, get a win in their favor, or could we be on the verge of a 3-0 hit from Spirit?
Spirit just looks too good, honestly, and they always have this
Here we
late
go.
game potential. And yeah, look at this again. They're just, he's okay. Look, it's just a void hitting an NS. Haha, 5 heroes. I rarely do you see heroes die under the tier 1 like this. Like, you're usually too tanky. Just because of that armor and everything, but yeah.
A bit of a head scratch. What can you do there?
Yeah, there's not much you can do. You can't expect that. You can't predict that all 5 heroes will be right there, so.
So overall, what are you liking from Shopify Rebellion's approach with this draft?
The Enchantress, and honestly, there's 3 things I really like. The Enchantress, the Night Stalker, and the Storm. I actually think that these 3 can take over if they do have this good early start. Might be a little bit difficult for Abed as the game does progress because there's the double silences. There's going to be this chrono that comes out. But I think Saberlight, he's probably the biggest one I have to look at. What type of game he has is probably going to dictate the pace of how they're going to be able to react versus Spirit. Because for me, they have to play pretty quick. I think if this game slows down too much, it's going to be this void that super scales. They have a very strong scaling lineup.
Now, Yatoro, Grandmaster Void. He's been doing some good carrying this series. I mean, some good carrying this tournament. Yatoro, he's been on fire.
And he got first blood. So he's got extra tangos to work with. He's got the Wraith Band already coming out, so his lane could be one thing that could have been a little bit difficult maybe before that first blood, just in getting some lasted sometimes versus NS because the base damage. But I mean, with the Wraith Band freely given, he's going to be able to freely farm up here.
Yeah, and sort of considering the things around the carry matchup this game, you would say Shopify, they are going to be on a bit of a timer.
Timer, absolutely. Yeah, you got to play aggressive and you got to get this advantage early. You know, they do have the Enchantress and the Night Stalker to thrive off of that early game. Every single time Nighttime's there, every single time the Ench has a creep, they can look to apply that pressure. Early silence pressure. We'll be able to remove at least 100 of that damage, but took a fair bit.
We'll see if this time around this game, Abed gets a little bit more space. Or could you sort of see Spirit doing a similar thing? Are we going to get a lot of pressure on the mid early on from the supports of Spirit?
I don't think we'll see as much this time around. That being said, though, maybe they will just because it is Abed and he is playing one of his most comfortable heroes. But I think with the way that their heroes are, it's not the same. You know, they don't have this Miposhka Enchantress that just can easily make those type of moves. Looks like he does have to play a little bit more around the Void. Because that silence is going to start coming out very early on. It is going to be annoying. 13-2, 10-1. Abed. Slightly ahead. And the Enchantress fly, as we've seen time and time again, this hero just seems to guarantee most lanes. Did get that Satyr creep to be able to burn some mana. This is a very potent lane, though, that Team Spirit does down in here. Way more kill threat, I would say, on this Dawn Sky in comparison to the NS plus the Coddle. The Boschka could maybe buy this. Yatoro should be pretty safe in most situations. And he's always got to have the time dilation. Mira?
Healing power.
Got a Fairy Fire. You'll be alright. Only just.
Starting to see once again how much this Ench can do in the laning stage.
Just pokes you.
Top poisons. They're going to go for Arteezy here with the combo. They throw down the concoction, but he's just dead straight up there to the combo for the two of them. The damage output for Collapse and Mirror too high.
Crit, one more poison.
What they can get from this crit. He actually lives. Tora, can he find some bashes?
He's got time dilation in a second. Should be able to have crit.
No!
And he will.
Same time back down bottom, Arteezy back in action. They'll get the revenge. They'll take down Collapse.
So much burst damage as we see right there, though, from the Sky and the Dawnbreaker. Even a hero like Alchemist can't suffer. Arteezy's going to go for early Soul Ring just to tank himself up a little bit, too. Natural item, of course, for the Alch, but any type of bits of armor you can get for Dawn is nice.
Yeah, so there's the little items coming for Arteezy, and
yeah.
You know, Fly gets his levels. This lane should get safer and safer.
Absolutely. And he's an Alchemist, so he's always going to be able to get that. Anytime that it slows down at all for him down here, he gets that extra bit of gold, too. But Yatoro absolutely set up for success with the way he was given first blood, getting that second guild, too.
We are seeing some focus around the mid. Team Spirit bringing in both supports for the water runes here 4 minutes in.
Roll off the mark.
Storm was coming.
Yeah, it does look like they are going to bring that attention to Abed again.
Yeah.
Poor
They want to
Abed.
shut Abed down. It worked last game. They want to do it again here.
Crit is in the area there to give him the salve and give him some chakra and stuff like that, although he does not get the bottle fill up.
I thank you.
Does mean Saberlight left alone up top. Not the most kill threat, no. Shadow Demon plus the Void versus this NS. Especially if the creeps are this close to his tower, he's just fine.
Should have enough freedom to allow Crit to hover around the mid, make sure that Abed gets sort of a bit of a safer start than he did in game 2.
Top tower
So far, the last hits, yeah, they're looking pretty good. 25 on Storm, 26 on Alk. Even though he did die the once, he's able to just back up and be able to get that farm going. It looks like maybe lanes are going to be quite actually just broken completely here, 5 minutes. So, as you said, you know, the attention probably will come to that mid from the 2 supports. It looks like Shopify probably going to match that. And nighttime, it's now been hit. So, Saberlight, see what he's going to be able to do with this. Likely just stay in
We're going to try and go for Lal, but he's able to keep his distance.
Tough kill to go for, pre-6 on the Storm.
Yeah, the full 1 belt of strength. Very hard to burst, and Mira's here ready to back him up. They're leading on to Abed. Look at the stun. Abed, we have to turn with the Vortex, but against the 2 of them, not a chance. They take Abed down. We'll see if Flying Crit can get anything in return. Chasing out Mira. Might be able to punish the Sky, though. Good blast there from Crit. Does not Laurel currently under the tower.
He's in a little bit of a weird spot. Is there going to be a push away?
I mean, the supports are making magic happen here with the 2 of them. Not quite enough to get the kill, though. Well, just a bit too beefy for these 2 at this stage.
Power Rune. Abed's respawning in time for it. Can Laurel claim this one? Crit is very low HP.
It's going to be down on the bottom. Mira able to get him with the deny.
Oh, can Fly get the kill? He's got the slow. Might take him a bit of time. Mira, he'll be able to claim a bounty rune.
What have we here?
And maybe he just gives up his life. Yeah, he buys the boots, he buys
Radiant's
the
bottom tower is under attack.
Making mistakes is the path to wisdom.
Tons of rotations.
I mean, all action on the mid again.
Yep.
Let's top. They'll come in with the Solar Guardian. Bashes are there to set up for it to come crashing down to Saberlight. Good knockback there from Crit.
Dodges.
Time dilation, a couple of stacks of poison.
Another dodge.
Connect. He should be able to get away from this Saberlight.
Okay.
That was the Solar Guardian.
Bit of a rare miss there from Collapse. Just missed the hammer there. A little bit of sidestep there from Saberlight.
Trying to bring down
Will
Radiant's
survive.
top tower.
7 minutes. Fly trying to get in to sneak the Wisdom Rune on the other side too. Look at Miposhka. He's going for it as well too. Looks like Spirit might be able to claim both of them.
Unless he's quick with the clicking here, Fly. And he won't be able to. Mira indeed picks it up first.
And he TPs. Saberlight used the nuke.
He's instantly out.
Oh, another miss.
They get away with that. Not punished at all. Not punished at all for that. The double wisdom steal.
I guess maybe Saberlight thought the chakra would give him enough of a cooldown reduction, but yeah, using the void there just gives a free TP out. Support's going to be quite high level now off of that one. Void matching the farm of this alchemist at the moment too. Spirit. Although Shopify's farming well in this laning phase, so is Spirit.
Let's see if they can get a kill out of this. Crit turns up to help out. Fly.
There you go.
Gonna be able to get the heal off.
Got the slow as well.
And he's already used the hammer, so not much more that Collapse can do to drag himself away or try and swing back in with the Starbreaker. Maybe look for a neutral deny. Not going to get it. Damage is done. Shopify Rebellion take the kill. Same time up.
Whoa!
Light.
You've seen your
Oh, a little bit of all chat there.
Oh!
What is that? What is that meant to be?
I mean, just maybe he was typing like an LOL or something there. I don't know. Oh my god! So, another L. He's just giving him the L.
Just giving in the L. Okay. I mean, he kind of okay, and then a P in return.
Low prio?
Yeah.
Oh, what a play!
I mean, if he just tried to give it, he kind of messed up. It would have been cool maybe if he just did it the first time around, but the fact he had to clarify and type it again capitalized it.
Fair enough.
It wasn't as smooth as he hoped it to be there, Saberlight.
I mean, now it's sick. No, that's the power of this ult. He just gets the double silence, double fear onto him, or double damage, and he's killing the void. That's big.
Fly.
Dyer's middle tower is under pressure.
Get away.
Okay.
Doesn't look like it.
Takes a lot of mana though, a lot of effort to kill this Enchantress.
Yep. Rare death by Yatoro, enabling Saberlight. He's now, I mean, very high up in farm now after this Laurel. Can he actually get himself away with the silence?
Good movement from Arbed, he's able to block it off. Disruption holds Arbed back for now. And Arbed, he's going to want to try and find Lal in the trees, Lal.
He's juking.
He's hiding.
Abed.
Him now back on the wave, but now in a distance in which he can't go aggressive towards Lal.
It's a level 2 silence. Yatoro is running over to connect for him too.
He's got the chrono if he wants to drop it.
And he will. They stack the silence on top. Do they have enough?
They'll have the damage. No messing around, absolutely worth it there. Drop the silence, drop the chrono. You want this Storm Spirit dead.
Oh yeah. 5 to 7.
Saberlight.
He's got to be super active on this Night Stalker.
And he certainly is. Silence. Setting up for a good duration from the stun of the concoction. TPs are coming in.
Oh, that bonk actually working in Collapse's favor.
And they're diving pretty deep here for this. Larl's turned up.
He's low mana. Laurel.
I mean, they turn towards him. Solar Guardian coming in with a heal though. Lyle, he'll be staying. A big dive, punished hard there.
What
they get caught beyond the tier 1 tower. Crit also stuck here on the low ground. He's... Oh, nice little...
Wait, what?
Is that going to get him out there?
Okay, let's start.
And they've got him. Concussive into the Ancient Steel. Yatora ready to run down the Cottle. As Crit. He's only got so much he can do. On the retreat, the bashes come in. The two of them going down.
Oh my goodness.
Taking the fight a bit too close to tier 1. At least over in the mid, Fly able to make some magic happen with the space given as he takes the tier 1 tower down with the pressure.
He tends to. Alright, what a bait play. And Laurel comes in and he's like, okay, yeah, I have no mana, guys. Go for me, right? He had literally 0 mana, half HP. Gives the space, though, for the Solar Guardian. That was actually super cool.
Bottom tower is
And they get the big connection. You can see Saberlight's trying to do as much as he can. He wants to put pressure to give space because this is an Alchemist who is not getting that big explosive farm. The Void is actually just straight up matching him.
Radiant's bottom tower faces
So Fly, he's trying to do his best here, too, trying to get this damage onto these towers, enabling his cores, getting that extra gold. So far, Spirit, they're the ones actually leading versus Outlaw of the game.
He's taking the Twin Gate over. They're going to just try and run down Arteezy.
He is looking in trouble.
He
He
might not even get the concoction off. Indeed, the Ancient Steel, the Starbreaker, he's only going to end up stunning himself. Mystic Flare comes down. They're taking Arteezy out again.
He's getting no space to farm. They're getting farm on Saberlight at the least. They're getting some pressure with him and Fly, but Arteezy's not getting the space again.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
Radiant's bottom tower has rung its last bell.
I mean, Yatoro has 5 kills somehow. The Void just getting involved in so much in this early game. It's definitely a game here too where the Void only really has to watch out for the most part about that Night Stalker. So set up for success. Smoke looks like they want to, and they kind of need to make this aggressive play for Saberlight. Has the Dark Ascension ready. Can he find a target? Blade Mail finished for Laurel.
Rather difficult for them to commit for the Earth Spirit now.
And always difficult too. It's like with the Storm Spirit for Abed. Yes, he has a shield rune now. Maybe he can, but so much silence to worry about. Okay.
Big slip in from Abed. They're in Octamira, but the Solar Guardian's coming in. He's getting healed up. He's able to step back. He's going to be fine for now. And finally falls.
Laurel's in.
A Saberlight's caught on the front. They catch him with a Starbreaker. He ticks out to the Magnetize. They'll lose the two of them here. Shopify Rebellion. Null will continue to attempt to chase Abed, but with the Invis rune, Abed manages to get out.
Can Fly get away though? Collapse, he's stalking him. They're gonna just let this Enchantress walk away.
I mean, aggressive moves though that are getting punished. Saberlight
every time.
Trying to start these plays, but he ends up losing his life.
He probably feels like he needs to make these plays, but every time the Solar Guardian just came, the little bit of save from a disruption, and then the Solar Guardian comes in and everything's turned around quickly. That was their Dark Ascension, and they lose the fight. Void 500 ahead of Alchemist. Never something you want to see if you're rooting for this Alch.
Dire are scanning for enemies.
His timing's gonna be quick. Does he actually have it finished already? I think he does, right? Yeah, he's got the Maelstrom already done. Holy crap. It's one of the most farmed. I think it's the most farmed Void I've ever seen. 7,000, 13 minutes.
An absolute beast on the hero here, Yatora.
Yeah. And they are shutting down all 3 cores, effectively. You know, the Night Stalker is hurt now, Abed's hurt, and Arteezy, an Alchemist who doesn't have this super fast timing on his items.
Mira?
They're just keeping it going. Mira. Looking for a solo play.
Really now? You should have seen that coming.
Doesn't quite find it.
They're in the jungle of Team Spirit. Team Spirit, they're kind of in position to try and push Shopify out of this.
They see Collapse, but this is a very These heroes are so tanky right now.
So start to play around with Flight.
They're just gonna throw the Purge on him.
Took the heal out. Again, it's a slow kill, but it should be a sure one.
I mean, they literally see Collapse, but I think they click him, and they click the Earth Spirit too, and they're like, do we really want to commit resources to go for these 1,600, 2,000 HP heroes? Do they even have the damage to be able to kill them? I don't know. I don't think so. And now Solar Guardian's back online too, so difficult for them to set up onto either of these tanky cores. Not giving opportunities to find Yatoro. How long till Dark Ascension? Okay, it's back up. And nighttime soon to hit. Gonna need a pretty successful night.
They're gonna try and bring together a fight around this mid, or at least try and stop Team Spirit from getting away with the push.
Yeah, they're grouping up. This is going to be the moment for Shopify to strike back, get things back going for themselves a little bit here. But everything is at the ready for the side of Team Spirit.
Highly likely that Yatoro can swing by and drop a good chrono.
And if you don't make the first move onto Collapse, he's just going to join in with the Solar Guardian, and he is going for the scaling build. He is going down this Desolator build that we've seen.
In they go, Shopify.
Perfect location.
Can they find some sort of kill, some sort of quick pick up against these ultimates? They're going to go for love. Drops it there. Be able to hold back one arm, but turns his attention over towards Miposhka instead. Now the Solar Guardian comes in. They've killed Miposhka off in time, though. Collapse. Turns with the Starbreaker onto Saberlight. Roll forward from Lal. They're in off the Nightstalker, but they've lost the 2 supports this time, Team Spirit.
Here comes Yatoro.
Comes in. He's holding back on the chrono for now.
Good connection so far.
The 2 kills, they don't lose anything in return.
Thinking about re-going.
Gonna try. See if they can jump Collapse again. Collapse. I don't think Saberlight low, but Saberlight can keep the distance. Concoction out from Arteezy. Shopify Rebellion, they'll get a 3rd.
Beautiful. Really nice fight. They get on top of everybody. The Solar Guardian actually comes in and the SD's already dead. They completely dodged it. Great aggressive move to get them back into the game.
I'm over here.
Not easy for them to force these plays, but they pull it off this time, Shopify.
They danced beautifully, just dancing around, not giving the opportunities for this Earth Spirit Void to connect properly. And now Arteezy does have his Radiance finished up, so...
That's the spirit.
I should imagine if Shopify Rebellion can avoid rough fights and continue these quick pickoffs, should allow the state of the game to show this out, the difference between him and the Void in terms of how much farm they can find, right? Yatoro obviously running this Master, but it's not like he's running a Midas build, so the Radiance out and the passive gameplay should start to get a bit of a lead.
Sure.
So they're gonna be making these moves. They're not gonna play passive on Team Spirit. They've got this. I mean, they've got this Earth Spirit with the Skyrash, super aggressive combo. But Collapse shows himself.
I'll look for him. Let's stun with the concoction. It's enough.
Good gank.
Under attack.
Arteezy able to get involved.
Is under attack.
Eyes on Saberlight, Lal. Quite a connect with the stun. I'll get the slow. Doesn't want to go anymore in towards Saberlight. Missed opportunity there for Spirit. Shopify being able to start to take over some presence here on this top half of the map.
Just keep giving Abed mana. I think just keep letting him make these moves on the map as the Storm Spirit. Him and Crit just paired up.
Radiant's middle tower can't handle this.
The mana, but it's not. It's running toward Arteezy instead. Still that nighttime for a few more minutes. Collapse respawning. Solar Guardian is back online. And Yatoro is getting toward a healthier function of having a BKB to protect himself versus the silence. Why?
He's gonna have Saberlight
He's
fight
okay.
to help out. The heal's out, flies fine.
Here comes Abed.
Saberlight can chase something down. Abed closes in on Miposhka. They'll get the easy kill onto the Shadow Demon, and now they'll try for Mirror. Abed with the last bits of his mana. Nowhere he
No way.
Oh, they couldn't find him in time. Mirror's out with the TP.
Oh, the tumbler into the perfect spot. Able to sneak himself out, but they don't get the kill. They try to go for an instant pop onto Fly, but he survives and quick TPs from Shopify to help out. Abed.
It's it's a 3-man chrono for Yatoro.
And the Solar.
It's coming in to follow up. They've taken out Abed. They should be able to get them all here. Fly and Crit cleaned up. Triple kill for Collapse, because why not? As Yatoro, there was no hesitation on that one. He sees the 3 of them. He drops that chrono immediately.
Literally perfect. Picture perfect. The level 2, I think it was level 2 chrono. You actually put the point in it too. Usually you don't see the carry players do this, but a perfect catch.
They were not ready for the Void to be here.
Right on the edge.
Does not get any better than that.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Collapse
attack.
will take those kills. I think that's his Desolator finished up now too. And Saberlight. He's going down.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
This Void's just way too big. BKB finished. He has pretty much no threat now to die. The silences, the controls just not really there for Shopify. Arteezy's still farming well, but Abed now starting to fall further and further behind. Same thing for Saberlight.
That was genius.
When you see even a slight gold lead for the team as a Void versus an Alchemist, that is concerns. And with the way that they're playing, they're scaling. They're scaling hard on all 3 of these cores. That Desolator for Collapse finished up. How long? I mean, they still have this 40 seconds until daytime. Do they have time to be able to look for a strike back here? Laurel, going a little bit deep. Can they punish him? He's so tanky now. Might have to just settle for Mira.
Mira's stepping up pretty far.
They got him. Give it Abed. Give it to the cores.
They've got to
They gotta go more,
they have
honestly.
to. They can't allow this.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
Especially not when these cooldowns are down, right? Right now, Chrono, 40 seconds. How long on Solar? Solar's actually back up in a few seconds. Collapse is actually doing another interesting build. I always like to talk about these because he's actually just omitted the second point in it again. He's actually just 4-4-4 and then just the 1 point. I'd imagine he does level this one, though, in comparison to him not leveling his Stampede from earlier. It is quite valuable, but yeah, always interesting to point out. Daytime has been hit.
Doesn't look like they'll find anything off the back of this smoke.
Dire are scanning for enemy.
Poshka, keeping the spot away, Pushkin. Might get punished for this one.
He's definitely... That's a bold play there from Miposhka.
More money for Armin. Straight for the BKB next.
Needs it this game versus the double silences. Still could get killed even with BKB, though, versus this Void. Yatoro's just so farmed, holy crap. BKB, almost a Mjolnir, now finished up. Just continuing to match the farm of an Alchemist.
Yeah, just not the difference between them that Arteezy on the Alch would hope to have.
Oh. How's his itemization, though? Blink, BKB. I think now is the time when Arteezy, I think now is like they're going to probably start calling, hey, Artur, we need you to start getting involved. You're very strong, and we need you to start helping us a little bit. Get this Storm and this Night Stalker back into the game a little bit. Problem is, Chrono's back up, and same thing with that Solar Guardian.
Now with this BKB on Yatoro, it's just almost impossible for Shopify Rebellion to set up a play onto the Void. They have to find the heroes around him.
If you can chain stun and kill, maybe, but the problem is there's a Shadow Demon too, right? So the chain stun is very unlikely. He'll get that BKB up and he's going to turn it.
As Shadow Demon and of course the Solar Guardian, these little things can that much harder for Shopify to get the quick picks.
And they're just going to force the Roshan during that daytime. Difficult to see Shopify wanting to contest this by any means. And they got both Wisdom Runes also on the side of Spirit to force them. The levels just continue to be there.
Pull me on it for Yatoro. Saberlight has got his blink.
Oh, and you know what else they also have too on the side of Spirit? Triple Philosopher's Stone. They're looking for the scaling. They're making that money. How many Phillies on the side of Shopify? 0.
Well, there you go.
Like Kunkka will.
Now an Aegis also, so Yatoro even harder to kill.
I mean, yeah, I don't think they can even take him out the one.
I don't think so either. And Laurel too, right? He's 3,000 HP. He's got the Blade Mail Heart already finished up. Things are seeming harder and harder for the side of Shopify. Can they maybe catch Collapse here? Seeing him over here on the sidelines. But Spirit want to fight.
They seem prepared.
They're very ready.
Themselves. And Yatoro, he's ready to join them. He's down here.
Arteezy.
They've got eyes on him. Lal, hitting in, gets the slow off. He's Saberlight jump over towards the back lines. The Chrono on 2. It's going to be catching the 2 of them. Allows them to bring Saberlight down low. Not quite enough to kill him. Saberlight's still alive. As Saberlight will be able to dodge out to the side of the fight. They're picking out the 2 support. And Arteezy will fall. Fly now getting focused by Yatoro. The Enchantress out of action. Same for Saberlight. Lal just cleaning them up here with the Magnetize. Crit will try for the TP out, but Lal, he's got the kick. He's got the clean up. 4 dead on Shopify. Abed, the only one able to get out alive.
You can kill the supports, but you cannot touch these cores. Look at this. They're like full HP after the fight still. A beautiful Chrono again from Yatoro. Catches right on top of the Night Stalker.
Doesn't lose his Aegis. Didn't even need to press his BKB in that one, Yatoro.
Look at that. Just gets 100 to 0'd on this Night Stalker pretty much.
I mean, he was lucky to sort of survive that initial Chrono as long as he did on Saberlight, but it didn't matter.
He just ticks out, right? Yeah, I think he just ticked out to the Magnetize. He walked back in, and I think that stone right there actually spread to him right when it was about to expire.
Yeah, Lar getting some crazy damage out in that fight.
Yeah, Saberlight knowing it.
Stone.
It's just who do you focus fire, right? They wanted to jump the Shadow Demon because they saw an opportunity for it, but the backup, it always is there from Spirit.
Yeah, they just went for that move expecting Spirit to not quite be as prepared as they would. Maybe they were, they felt that they could find like what Miposhka plus
maybe.
1 Miposhka Collapse, but wasn't to be.
No,
they were ready for that Spirit.
Yeah, I mean, Miposhka was actually looking for the aggressive play himself of just disrupting the Alchemist, getting those illusions going and everything too, but either way, another fight. Spirit
just got sent.
Continue to just reign supreme. And now Laurel, Assange, a shield rune. Couldn't, I mean, you could barely even touch him before.
do you do?
What do you do? I mean,
What do you do?
Saberlight's game is just non-existent, right? He had an amazing performance on the Night Stalker earlier today, but this game, it just feels like he's very much so addressed.
A couple of moves where he's tried to go in and it's been punished. They just never quite had that lead. This game, Shopify Rebellion, and
they never did.
Continues on the net worth. Yatoro keeping on par with the Alchemist.
Yep.
Dire's middle tower is
And
under
they're scaling all 3 cores, right? That's the build from the Dawnbreaker 2, what it allows. He has now a BKB on Collapse too.
Is under attack.
He's hitting hard. Level 18 already been claimed since they've gotten all these Wisdom Runes in all these fights. It's tough to see when the big timing is, when it's going to be like, all right, Shopify's got a good way to take a fight back into this because of how tanky and durable these 3 cores are, and just the lack of answers really for this Void.
Radiant's top tower is on the rocks.
It's very just too comfortable right now.
Radiant's top tower.
Take what they want.
Yep.
Tier 2. Soon to be theirs.
Still 90 on the Aegis. They've got Solar Guardian if anyone wants to try to make a move too.
They're trying to bring down Radiant's
It's nighttime again for Saberlight, but not much he can do. And there's the 20 talent on the Void. At attack speed, anyone is dead.
Tower is about to flounder.
You just run at them, Yatoro. I mean, they're all ready to fight here. Smoke up from Spirit, lol.
For enemies.
They see the shield and they're like, oh my god. No way they can come. Can they dispel it at least? They will. Okay.
Silence. On towards Crit. He's out.
But they just take a look at Laurel. He's just getting
Go for
pickled.
more. Arteezy will get the concoction off on a collapse. They're going to try and fight the Dawnbreaker first. Going to get caught by the stun and return as Lar goes back in the BKB's pop. Yatoro deals the Saberlight on the back lines.
Abed.
Silence catches Abed. Yatoro, he's got the Chrono, catches the Storm. Abed in trouble. Solar Guardian also thrown into the mix just to make sure there's no hope for Abed on the escape. As once again, a clean team fight win there for Spirit. It's 4 dead. They don't lose anything. They don't even lose the Aegis on Yatoro.
They can't even kill the...
I mean, again, he's not losing the Aegis, and he's not even needing to press BKB.
He's not. He doesn't even
He's not
need
being
to.
forced to do anything in these fights. Yatoro's just going to get into play these fights as freely as possible.
I look at Laurel. He's
No
just
pressure on him.
getting tickled. They jump the Dawnbreaker. They throw Glimmer. They throw all the protection onto him. There's just... The damage just isn't there for these cores. Look at this. This is everything thrown onto him, but there's just not that follow-up. Abed, he's terrified to jump in and follow up. And then even then, he gets caught.
Down you go.
Looking good.
Looking pretty impossible here.
Yeah.
The Shopify Rebellion. We're going to have to see something from them that we've never seen before if they turn this one.
This one is so convincing, really, the experience. They're absolutely dominating every single one of these fights. Now, without even Chrono, they're looking to take this one.
Compression at the backline. They'll go for the 2 supports. They'll get them. Mira, also the 4. They return. This time, Yatori's ready with the BKB. He'll pop it.
And Arteezy's isolated. BKB CD.
Yatori can come back in if he needs to take down Arteezy. Concoction's going to be there. She's speedy enough to separate from both of them.
He's stunning himself.
Yatori's got a full Scardy. In with the hammer. They're on top of Arteezy. On the BKB.
Can he run? Can he hide?
He's trying to juke through the trees. He'll be able to blink away. Saberlight gets some of the silence on towards Yatoro, but Yatoro's too beefy to fight. And indeed, Yatoro, he doesn't care. He just jumps straight towards Saberlight.
They're just still full HP on all 3 cores. Saberlight runs in silence, but he's like, oh god, I can't do anything.
Oh, he's pulled them over towards Arteezy. Arteezy's like, why have you made them chase you over here?
Saberlight, no! They're gonna keep chasing. I mean, TP's on cooldown for Arteezy. Collapse. Can he get the connection? All right, they're cutting him out a bit here.
Oh, Mira.
Whoop. Whoop.
Hasn't got any TP cancel himself, so Saberlight's out.
Arteezy, can he sneak the wisdom? No,
Should
not.
Yeah, he's going to be okay to TP.
Yeah,
TP's
he's
back
safe.
off in a few seconds. So Arteezy makes it out of there.
Yep. The fight without Chrono, convincingly again, still for Spirit. And now Chrono, it is going to be back up. Can they get the jump here at the low? Can they kill him? No, tanky.
Solar Guardian's up. 4 heroes trying to take down Lal, and they only get about a third of his HP. Lal's fine.
And here comes Yatoro.
He's got the Chrono if he needs to line it up. He will, and he catches them perfectly on the tip. Saberlight core, fly as well. It's getting painful now, this game 3 for Shopify Rebellion, as this is the team spirit show through and through.
Oh, nice try there from Collapse, the fancy blink play with the Starbreaker. At every single fight, convincingly. Yatoro seems to be landing every single Chrono perfectly. Just on the edge, catches 2 heroes again and again and again. And yeah, like you said, has a Scotty. Out of nowhere, just so much farm that he's been able to find.
Yeah, they're up to the base.
And they can't even hurt Laurel. They take out, what, a third of his HP or something with that Solar Guardian coming in?
Heroes trying to go for him.
Damage just not there.
It really isn't.
Radiant's middle
Few seconds, and they will have the full lineup of Shopify Rebellion.
Radiant's middle tower.
But what
has
sort of
fallen.
defense can they offer?
They haven't killed a core in 15 minutes again.
Radiant's
Similar to that
middle
last game.
barracks are
The last time, I think it was,
taking
15-minute mark or so when the Dawnbreaker died. Besides that,
Taurus just taking the barracks here.
the cores just always live.
Some backdoor protection kicking in.
Kicks him. Time walks back in. Oh, it's funny.
Radiant's middle barracks getting what they deserve.
They can't push him off it.
Nope. Can't touch.
The racks are gone.
Radiant's middle barracks have fallen. Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
Fly. Yeah, but with the force, Abed quite able to get the grab on collapse. If he did. Just the amount of HP that these cores have.
At the least, Abed does have a BKB now to protect himself versus this silence that has literally not letting him really do too much inside a lot of these fights. See if they can find any catch here, though.
Are scanning for enemies.
That's easy.
Can they 100-0 Yatoro?
Got a DD. Brings out the courier to solo smoke himself to maybe give the chance of a setup here. They've got to take risks. Shopify Rebellion.
It's got to be 5 heroes, it feels like. Is 4 even enough?
And they burst the void.
He's got Solar Guardian.
There's the stun. Solar Guardian's coming in. It's not close.
It's not even close.
Yatoro is perfectly fine. Time walks out. Time walks back in to take Arteezy down low. As Arteezy's gone.
And the 2 on the side isolated. They're going for Miposhka, but he might just be baiting them in.
It's 4 dead. The 3 dead. They get 1 of them.
They get 1.
Abed's it. Pretty low on the mana.
Oh.
And he does not have TP. They might be able to chase this storm.
Courier has been
Out of stones, but they might just keep persisting. Collapse wants him. Oh! No, he saw him.
A bit of mana there. Abed into the silence. His body kicked to the side by Lal.
Laurel having a hell of a game as well, too. You know, we've been kind of distracted by the beauty of the Yatoro, but honestly, all 3 cores, they're just playing perfectly. He's, what, 8-0 and 17 on this Earth Spirit.
Yeah.
And every time the Solar Guardian just comes out, and there's just, even before the Solar Guardian, it didn't look like they had the damage. They needed all 5 hitting Yatoro. Too tanky. The cores just continue to live. And the hope for Shopify comes to pretty much 0 now.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Proto at the ready. We'll still keep going.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
A full butterfly also. Oh my goodness. Disassembled that Mask of Madness.
I mean, yeah, the amount of farm Yatoro has is pretty disgusting. He's playing the level he's playing at.
He had
12, 115, level 24.
structures are
Game 1,
fortified.
1000 GPM. Game 2, 960 GPM. Game 3, he's sitting at 800 GPM on a Void.
Probably one of the highest average GPMs you'll get from a carry performance in the best of 5.
I would imagine so.
I gotta say. Yeah.
Get themselves a free Roach and Aegis of Cheese. Being as careful as possible anyway, just in case. Full Octarine now for Laurel.
Has fallen to the dire.
He's got a cheese. If he even needs it.
If he even needs it.
If pass it over to Miposhka, Lal knows he's not going to need to pop a cheese anytime soon. They can't kill him.
That's actually pretty funny.
Ags on Mira.
Bottom tower
They're all
is
getting to
under
have some
attack.
fun this game. Team Spirit, this whole series they have.
Ags with the Void. That's the dream. He also has the Shard too.
Dire are scanning for enemies.
He has the final push commencing.
Tower faces a stiff win.
Crit doing a dance.
It's alright, teasing around with them. His chrono is absolutely on point this game. The connections he's had.
They've been perfect. Like 3 or 2 heroes every single time, it
Every
feels
single
like.
time. They're going to try and go for him.
Jump the
Step
back line.
He's looking for Miposhka. Collapse. He's in with the Starbricks. Let's get this. The Chrono's out to Arteezy. He's out. Arteezy's dead for 75. Stabilized out as well without buyback. They can't even find Mira. The defensive disruption comes in. Nobody dying on the side of Team Spirit. As flying Ahmed. They'll try and retreat. It is over. GG is called, ladies and gentlemen. Team Spirit are the champions here at Dream League Season 21. They take this best of 5. 3-0 against Shopify Rebellion. And folks, it wasn't really very close.
Only game 1. Game 1 had a little bit of